So the second part of Laplace transform, we are starting here. It is inverse Laplace transform. Now there is no new definition. There is no new definition for inverse Laplace transform. The same thing is just reverted. Now what is if we want the definition, we can say like this. If we have if we have Laplace of f of t, Laplace of the function f of t is that fs. If Laplace of the function f of t is fs, then we have this one. L inverse of fs is ft, and that is L inverse is an inverse operator now, inverse Laplace operator. So when we operate L inverse on fs, it converts S domain function to the T domain function. Okay, now we are moving from S to the T back again, because generally the transform, every transform always have the inverse transform. Just like for logarithm, there is anti-log. Okay, when we operate a log operator, we have to take anti-log at the end so that we get answer in the same domain. So in the similar way here in a Laplace, we have L inverse as an inverse operator. For integration, derivative is the inverse operator, like that. Okay, so there is no new definition, and we can say there are no new formulas now. Whatever the formulas we have for Laplace, the same formulas we have to use it in a reverse order now. Just like whenever we come across 1 by s, so we should say L inverse of 1 by s is 1. L inverse of 1 by s is 1, because Laplace of 1 is 1 by s. L inverse of 1 upon s minus a, L inverse of 1 upon s minus a is e raised to at, while L inverse of 1 upon s plus a is e raised to minus at. Okay, L inverse of 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. Now L inverse of 1 upon s raised to n plus 1 is t raised to n upon n factorial, provided n is an integer. T raised to n upon n factorial, provided n is integer. If n is a fraction, we say t raised to n upon gamma n plus 1. Okay, so no new formulas, same thing we are using in a reverse way now. Like L inverse of a upon s square plus a square is a sin at. L inverse of s upon s square plus a square is a cos at. When denominators are minus, like L inverse of a upon s square minus a square is a sin hyperbolic at. Okay, like that. By practice, yes, obviously quickly you can able to recall this. So that about standard results of inverse Laplace transform. So no proof, definitely there is no proof, because just we can say as a Laplace of sin at, as a Laplace of sin at is a upon s square plus a square. So L inverse of a upon s square plus a square is sin at. That's one only. So this way we can say the inverse Laplaces. And again on inverse Laplace, one question of 5 marks are coming in the exam. So a single question. Now the properties of inverse Laplace transform. So again, there is no new property, we can say the same properties we can use in a reverse way now. So the first property for inverse Laplace, L inverse is also the linear operator. L inverse is a linear operator. You observe L inverse of a f1s plus b f2s is a times L inverse of f1s plus b times L inverse of f2s, where that L inverse of f1s is f1t and L inverse of f2s as f2t. So that is because of that it is written like this. So L inverse is also the linear operator. You can take L inverse of addition is addition of the L inverses. Okay, that way. Second property is a first shifting property. Now this is one of the tricky property in inverse part, because what we should have, then we can use this first shifting property. The requirement of first shifting property for inverse operator is every s should be in the form of s plus a. Every s should be in the form of s plus a. Then we can say this way, L inverse of f of s plus a. Suppose every that function is completely in the form of f of s plus a, we can take that e raised to minus at outside, and then L inverse of fs. And okay, so this way what we are doing, we are actually shifting s plus a to the s. Okay, shifting s plus a to the s by taking e raised to minus at outside the operator, outside L inverse operator. Okay, so the most important thing you will observe, this is a function of t and L inverse, and this is function of s. Why these are coming together? Because L inverse of this fs is obviously coming as a function of t there. So we'll come to the questions, examples now, so it becomes more clear then. Let me move to the numerical, and I will ask you only. Yes, I want the answer from you. The question is now, this is one of the simple question that we have. Our aim is to get the inverse Laplace of this ratio, or this fraction. Okay, so indirectly we want this one, L inverse of s square minus 3s plus 4 divided by s cube. Yes, anyone? What should be done so that we can use the table of standard result? Yes, anyone? What should be the step now?
Factorization by middle term splitting.
Uh, Pardon?
Sir, by factorizing the numerator by middle term splitting.
No, not correct. Why there is need of factorization? It's one of the simple thing that we can do it. Yes, it's a separate division. Is that we can divide by s cube throughout. So s square upon s cube. Is it 1 upon s minus 3 upon s square plus 4 upon s cube? What we done? We just separated. We just separated. Yes, yes. Rishang is correct. We have to divide by s cube to each term there. Okay. Now tell me, what is L inverse of 1 upon S? What is the inverse of 1 by S?
So 1.
1. Correct. So inverse of 1 upon S square now. This minus 3 will be as it is. L inverse of 1 upon S square. So just recall the formula. L inverse of 1 upon S raised to n plus 1 is T raised to n upon n factorial. T raised to n upon n factorial. So this is 1 upon S
T
square.
square by 2.
It's not T square. It is a
That
T raised to
is
1. It is a T raised to 1 upon 1 factorial if you want that formula, because it is s raised to n plus 1, that is 1 plus 1. Okay, now tell me for 1 upon s cube.
the t square by 2 factorial.
Correct. Now, okay, so let me write a simplified answer. 1 minus 3t, this 2 factorial is 2 only, plus 2t square, and that is the end of the question. We have the L inverse of the given function is this one, that is a function of t. Remember one very important thing, that whenever you take a Laplace, of any given function, the answer should be in a function of s only. And when you take inverse Laplace, the answer should be in a function of t only. So nowhere s is appearing now in final solution. Is that so? Because we are converting S domain function to the T domain function now by an inverse operator. If any doubt, yes, you can ask. The formula that we used, I will write it here. Those who are not getting, this is L inverse of 1 upon S raised to n plus 1 is T raised to n upon n factorial, provided n is integer. If n is not integer, we use T raised to n upon gamma n plus 1. Yes, any doubt, anyone? So if you've done that, I will move to the next question then. Just tell me once you finish.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done. Okay, very good. So next question. Next question is on the screen, and you should tell me the steps now. How to get inverse Laplace. Our aim is to convert that function into the standard forms or standard functions.
So
by
we will
separating
take
each
s
term of
upon s
numerator.
square plus
Very
16
numerator, yes,
separate and
or
the
separate
Laplace.
division, we can say, is that
Yes.
Yes, sir.
PS minus 12 divided by s square plus 16 is given. So what we have to do it, this is a L inverse of 3 is a constant, we can say s upon s square plus 16, and now we look that is one of the standard function, minus, now there is no s, if there is no s we have to adjust a constant a upon s square plus a square form. So as this is there, so we require here 4 upon s square plus 16, so this is again 3. So it is just separate division is taken, and now by this 3 as it is, L inverse of s upon s square plus 16 cos,
Cos
Cos 4t.
yes, cos 4t, not sin 4t. Okay, and this is the sine of 4t, correct. So that is the answer. Only 3 can be taken common. So one of the simple example, no property, nothing is required, just it can be converted in a standard function or standard form, and we can take the inverse Laplace then. So once you finish, tell me. So that 12 is splitted. This 12 is splitted into 3 into 4. Why we taken 3 into 4? Because we require a upon s square plus a square. A upon s square. Why we cannot write in s upon s square? Because s is not available. In first term s is available, so we written in that form. You cannot take 3s outside. You cannot take s outside and you write 4 because you don't know the L inverse of s only. Remember, the L inverse of 1 by s exists, but L inverse of s does not exist. L inverse of s does not exist. So can we move to the next question then, if you're done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third question. Here we want L inverse of this part. Now you should tell me what should be done.
plus 2 and then minus 2. So we will convert it in s plus 1 form.
Okay, very nice. And after that,
So it will be 3 into s plus 1 upon s plus 1 whole to power 4, and
okay,
then minus 2 upon s plus 1
okay.
whole raised to power 4.
Let we go. So this is L inverse of. Why you are thinking like this? 3s plus 3 minus 2 upon. So why we done this? The purpose is every s we have to convert that in the form of s plus 1. So this is 3 times s plus 1 minus 2 upon s plus 1 raised to 4. Is that? Now, can you correlate with this one of the property? L inverse of f of s plus a. Remember, if we have a function of s in the form of s plus a, every s is in the form of s plus a, then what we can do it, we can take e raised to minus at out and we left with L inverse of fs. So this is the first shifting property, property number 2, first shifting property. So we can use this property. So what will be the answer then if we use that property here? Which function will come out?
E raised to minus t.
E raised to minus t, correct. And we left with L inverse of, now every that s plus a is replaced by s. So here s plus 1 should be replaced by s. Now 3s
3s minus 2 upon
minus 2,
s to the
correct,
power 4.
upon s raised to 4. Now next step. Separate division. 3 upon s cube minus 2 upon s raised to 4. Now the next step I will write it here, that e raised to minus t as it is. What's L inverse of 1 upon s cube? L inverse of 1 upon s cube. Yes.
T
Sir,
square by
t
2
square by
factorial.
2 factorial.
T square by 2 factorial. Now you are correct. Now 1 upon s raised to 4.
Sir, t cube by 3 factorial.
Yes, t cube by 3 factorial. And that is our final answer. You can keep as it is, or if you want to just small simplification, you can do it. Like it's a 3 by 2 and it is a 1 by 3. E raised to minus t, 3 by 2 t square. 3 factorial is 3 into 2. So 2 gets cancelled. Minus 1 by 3 t cube. And that is the answer. Is equal e raised to minus t, 3 by 2 t square minus 1 by 3 t cube. That is the final answer. So can anyone tell me which term indicates we have to use a first shifting? Which term indicated here that this
S
exam,
plus A term.
this is s plus 1 raised to 4. This is like f of s plus 1, na? S plus 1 raised to 4 is there. So this term indicated that every s we have to convert in the form of s plus 1 and we should use a first shifting, this property. Okay. So this is the main task. Identification is very important. Identification, because nowhere in the exam name of the property is mentioned. You have to identify. You have to identify whether you are going to use the first shifting or you are going to use a multiplication by s property or something like that. Okay, we'll see that one by one. In examination, the question simply comes like this: find the inverse Laplace transform of. Find inverse Laplace of 3s plus 1 upon s plus 1 raised to 4. Once you complete, tell me. Okay, done. Very good. Next question. Our aim is to get inverse Laplace of this term. I want the answer from you now. What will be our first step? Yes, anyone?
So it will be s plus 3 minus 3
Okay.
upon
Huh?
s plus 3 whole square plus 4 square.
Okay, very good, very nice. Okay, so actually whenever there is a quadratic expression, you will observe quadratic expression appeared in the expression, and if it is in mainly in the, suppose it is a reverse part, that this denominator is a numerator and numerator is denominator, we can do a separate division, but right now we can't do it, that separate division there, or not. There is main thing is a quadratic expression and that should be done in the complete square form. Okay, so this complete square is the main key, and here if you observe this middle term indicates 6s, indicates it should be s plus 3 bracket square, s plus 3 bracket square. Now what we get? S square plus 6s plus 9 we are getting, but here is plus 25. So as that is a plus 9 that we are getting here extra, so minus 9 plus 25. I'm writing. First let I adjust these terms. So I'm written just in that form. And now let me write every s in the form of s plus 3 so that we can use a per shifting property. So this is s plus 3 minus 3 divided by s plus 3 bracket square, and this is a minus plus 16. And now, yes, by first shifting, what should be outside? What should be outside? Outside the L inverse operator.
e to power minus 3t.
Very good, correct, nice. E raised to minus 3t will out, and we left with L inverse of s minus 3 upon s square plus 16. Okay, you'll observe every s plus 3 is replaced by s. Because of first shifting property, this e raised to minus 3t come out, and every s plus a is replaced by s only. So e raised to minus 3t as it is, and let me adjust this in the required form, s upon s square plus 16 minus, yes, what should be adjustment here? To use a standard result, what should be adjustment? We require here 4, na?
Sir, 3 by 4 into 4.
Correct, very good. So last step, the answer. Thus the answer is e raised to minus 3t. This is a cos 4t minus 3 by 4 sin 4t. That's the end of the question. So we got this as answer. So L inverse of the given function is this one. E raised to minus 3t into cos 4t minus 3 by 4 sin 4t. Anyone have any doubt, any problems, you should ask why we are going in that way. There's a logic, that logic you should understand what we are doing. Our aim is to convert whenever quadratic expressions are appearing in the function of s, we generally move to the complete square. Okay, we take the complete square and we get the answer. Are you completed? Okay, good, Asif. Next one. Do it now. Do it and tell me the answer. Anyone got the answer? Many times by observation also you can write the answers. Okay. Yes, anyone? Which exponential term come out?
Sir, e power minus.
T, correct.
Yes, sir.
E raised to minus t, that is correct.
Cos t plus 6 sin t.
Cos t
Yeah. Cos t plus 6 sin t.
plus 6 sin t, that's the answer. Okay, let me check now. So obviously the denominator is a quadratic, so it's better we should make a complete square. So when we take a complete square in the denominator, it goes s plus 1 bracket square. You will observe s square plus 2s plus 1 is there, so plus 1 is left only. So numerator should be adjacent in the same way. So we take s plus 1 plus 6. Now by first shifting property, e raised to minus t will come out, and we have to replace every s by s plus 1 by s only. So s plus 6 divided by s square plus 1. And yes, the answer is correct because it can be rearranged like this: s upon s square plus 1 plus 6 times 1 upon s square plus 1. And next step is this answer. Correct. Okay. So it's not so difficult, but main thing is the observation and moving in that correct direction. So whether you finish this, are you completed? Okay, done. One more is there. I want the answer from you. Okay, e raised to minus 2t, Asif saying. Okay, I take.
E raised to power 2t sin 3t.
Correct. E raised to 2t is the correct one, not e raised to minus 2t. So e raised to 2t will come out and into sine of
Sin 3t I got.
3t. Okay, let me check whether the answer is correct or not. It's a L inverse of 3 upon, it gives you s minus 2 bracket square now. So s square minus 4s plus 4. So plus 9 you get. So by shifting property, e raised to 2t will come out plus 2t now, because right now it is s minus 2 there. And we're left with L inverse of 3 upon s square plus 9. And obviously that's the answer. Correct. Okay, very good. One of the simple question, huh? The reverse, those who are interested or those who want more examples for practice, you can see one important thing. there are very limited functions whose Laplace exists. So what happens? You will come across this type of functions again and again. We already completed the examples like this. Find the Laplace of e raised to 2t into sine 3t, and that time your answer will look like this. Your answer will look like this only. We are not simplifying up to here. We are not simplifying up to here. So directly we keep this as answer. Okay, this is our answer for Laplace of e raised to 2t into sine 3t. Is that? So all the questions you can do in both way. Whenever you have some f of t, you find the Laplaces of them, and once you get the answer, you can start inverse Laplace, and you will get same function again. Okay. So that about the first two properties. Okay, the first two properties. In inverse Laplace, hardly we are requiring three properties. Okay, I'm saying only three properties we require in inverse Laplace. The first two we already seen, which are linearity and first shifting. Linearity and first shifting of inverse Laplace are important. And here, one last property will require, which is a inverse Laplace of derivative. Inverse Laplace of derivative. Now, this is not a new property. This is not a new property of Laplace. We already seen what is the Laplace of multiplication by t. Multiplication by t property says
minus f of s.
minus f dash
F dash s.
Correct. So now we're taking L inverse on both sides. So if we take L inverse on both sides, we get t into f of t is equal to L inverse of that f dashes minus f dashes. But this L inverse is a linear operator, so this minus sign can be taken out and that given to the RHS, and we get this property. So you'll observe L inverse of f dashes. L inverse of f dashes is a minus t into ft. Minus t into f of t. And this is one of the most important property, because near about many questions we can solve it with this property, or many inverse Laplaces are possible with this property. I will add one important remark. Now, when we are going to use inverse Laplace of derivative property, okay, if that f of s, function of s, given f of s is of, if f of s is given in the form of say log, okay, say then tan inverse, cot inverse, log, tan inverse, cot inverse. Only these three possible ways are there, I think, where there is need of multiplication by t property. Okay, to remove these functions means because we cannot say L inverse of log cot inverse s. L inverse of cot inverse s, we cannot get it directly there. So for that, to remove that cot inverse s, tan inverse or log, we use the derivative property. We take like f dash s first, and then we take inverse Laplace, and at the end we use this property. We'll come to the example. It becomes more clear then. Okay. First of all, you should remember inverse Laplace of derivative property is used whenever fs is in the form of, or fs is a function of logarithm, tan inverse or cot inverse, then only we use this property. Okay. Come to the example. So what you will observe now? The observation is mainly important. There is a logarithm. So we should use a derivative property. Okay. So how to find the inverse Laplace of such a function where log, tan inverse or cot inverse appeared? So we have to start with like this. Let f of s is a given function, which is a log of s plus b upon s plus a. Remember, our aim is to remove log first so that we can take inverse Laplace. So we are going to differentiate it. But derivative of this logarithm becomes little complicated. So better we use log properties for simple derivatives. So we should take log of s plus b minus log of s plus a. Now we can write it f dash s. Can anyone tell me what is the derivative? Differentiating both sides. Differentiating both sides with respect to s. Yes.
1 by s plus b minus 1 by s plus a.
Correct. Very good. 1 upon s plus b minus 1 upon s plus a. So we got here f dash s. Now can we take a L inverse of RHS now? Yes. Is that it is in the standard form? Previously we can't. Because of that we take an f dash s. Now we said taking L inverse on both sides. Taking inverse on both sides. So anyone, what is L inverse of f dash s? Minus t into ft, just we seen. What is L inverse of 1 upon s plus b? E raised to minus bt, is that? And what is the inverse of 1 upon s plus a? E raised to minus at. Now, what is the last step that we left? Because we want L inverse of fs actually. What is L inverse of fs? L inverse of fs is f of t. So just our final answer is f of t we want, because we don't want L inverse of f dash s. Actually, we want L inverse of fs only, given function. So this f of t is nothing but it is L inverse of fs only. So this f of t will become minus t. I am taking this side. As this minus sign I am giving, this term become plus and this become a minus. So it become e raised to minus at minus e raised to minus bt upon t. And that's the L inverse of fs. Okay, and this is our answer. So final answer is here. That is the end of the question also. So this is the way we complete inverse Laplace of logarithm, tan inverse and cot inverse function. Log, tan inverse and cot inverse function, inverse Laplace is calculated with the help of derivative property. Taking inverse Laplace on both sides, that is written there in between. Taking inverse Laplace on both sides, L inverse of f dash s is a minus t into ft. That's the property. Once you complete, tell me. We have to move to the next question here. Okay, very good. Done. This question is similar to that only. I think you can do it also. That will finish quickly. So already we are given fs. Fs is a log of 1 minus s upon 1 plus s. As log is appeared, we use a derivative property. What's f dash s now? Yes, anyone? Or first of all, fs in simplified form. Log of 1 minus s minus log of 1 plus s. Always use this property so that derivative becomes simple. Otherwise, your derivatives will complicated. Then you have to use a partial fraction. Okay, so that becomes complicated there. Now you can tell me the derivative. Yes.
minus 1 by 1 plus
Very
1
good.
minus
So this
s.
minus sign is very important because derivative of log is 1 upon 1 minus s into the derivative of 1 minus s is a minus 1. So minus is very important. Very good. Or I will take. We can rearrange this term because we know we have the 1 upon s minus 1, we can write it. And 1 upon s plus 1, we can write it. And now we can take inverse Laplace. Taking inverse Laplace on both sides, L inverse of f dash s is a minus t of t. Taking inverse Laplace on both sides, so inverse Laplace of f dash s is a minus t of t is equal to inverse of this is e raised to t and inverse of that term is e raised to minus t. And we have the answer now. Last step, f of t. F of t is the required answer always. And as minus is merging, we have e raised to minus t is a positive and e raised to t is a negative term upon t. And that's the answer. So here this is the key point actually. Here some of the students making mistake, not writing minus sign there. Any doubt here? After this, one last question we'll do it and then we'll stop. Because remaining questions are similar, you can do it your own. So can we move to the last question? Okay, good. So here is the last question. Find inverse Laplace of tan inverse 1 by s. Tan inverse of 1 by s. So again, remember three key functions: tan inverse, cot inverse, and log. We have to use the derivative. So let me start with fs again. So let our fs is tan inverse 1 by s. Is there any property to convert this tan inverse 1 by s to something? Is there any relation, anyone? Is a tan inverse 1 by s is a cot inverse s?
Pi by 2 minus.
Pi by 2 minus cot inverse 1 by s? No need actually. I think tan inverse 1 by s, is it a cot inverse s directly? Is that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it is directly cot inverse s because it is 1 upon s is there. Okay, you check this property. Tan inverse of 1 by s is a cot inverse s. If not, if you are not able to get this property, you can differentiate directly also. But what you have to differentiate then? Derivative of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square into the derivative of 1 by s, you have to write it. Are you getting? So both way are correct. So I am taking that f dash s here. Now there are two ways. Those who are not able to get this property, directly differentiate tan inverse. Those who are getting this property, use a derivative of cot inverse s. What's the derivative of cot inverse s? Is it correct? Is it correct? So go by any of the way, your derivative will come same. It will come same. So suppose someone differentiate tan inverse. I will show you here that tan inverse derivative. Derivative of tan inverse, you will do it like 1 upon 1 plus 1 by s bracket square into derivative of 1 by s, that is a minus 1 by s square. Okay, you will do like this. But if you cross multiply, simplify now, s square plus 1 you will get, and this s square, that denominator s square and s square gets cancelled and you get the same function there. You get this function only. Taking inverse Laplace on both sides, taking inverse Laplace on both sides, this is minus t of t, minus t of t. What is the inverse Laplace of this part?
Minus sine t.
Correct, very good. Minus sine of t. And last step, what is f of t then?
minus sin t by t.
Plus sin t by t, because minus minus become plus. And that's the answer. You can see the hardly you have to do it 4 to 5 steps. It's not so difficult, but the things are that important is observation and using the correct simplification. You can do this differentiation also. After that, you are going to get this only, okay, without cot inverses also, and you are going to get the same answer. Go by any of the method, any of the way, answer will not change. And we already know Laplace of sin t upon t is a cot inverses. We already completed that example. Okay, so both way it is coming same. After this step, you should write taking inverse Laplace on both side. Taking inverse Laplace on both side, and then we are going to get this step. Inverse Laplace of f dashes is this one, and inverse of that part is here.